There's one thing I want to make very clear today. This message is very clear. Take it serious. Praise God. People who are chosen to serve the living God can never ever be defeated. No matter the weapons you are coming with, no matter the idols you brought in, no matter the juju you are prepared, no matter how equipped you are, coming from the bush or coming from anywhere, people who has chosen God, these people who has believed in Christ Jesus, you cannot overcome them. You cannot defeat them. When you come in like a flood, the Spirit of God will raise a standard. Be careful with the people, especially the people of the southeast. Be careful with them. Be careful with them. They can only bring your rising. Don't let them bring your downfall. And they will not bring your downfall until you want to pull them down. You want to pull them down, you pull yourself down. You want to destroy them, you destroy yourself. You want to sideline them, you sideline yourself. You want to lock them up, you lock yourself. You put them in prison, you prison yourself. Because be careful with the people, especially called Biafran Bites. Be careful with them. Be careful with them. Be careful with them. These are not ordinary people. These are spiritual entities that God have brought on the face of the earth, because this was called the Israel building the temple, and this was called a code and a dot that bring together the Israel of this generation, the tribe of Israel of this generation. Be careful. Let these people be a blessing to you, never to be a curse to you. Be careful, because major prophet of God, I stand in the prophetic. You have never given me money. Did you pay me? Now have you feed me? Have you bring the seed? Oh, let me build a church for him. No. For you to know, I am not after what you're going to give me. I am after the truth. And truth is what will stand. Be careful with the people of Biafra. Leave them alone. Let them be. Leave them alone. Let them be. They will bring your downfall when you want to pull them down. You want to kill them, you kill yourself. You want to destroy them, you destroy yourself. You want to lock them up, you lock yourself. Be careful. Be very, very careful. This is major prophet of God. I'm just a prophet saying what God has put in my heart to say. And as a prophet of the whole world, I don't know why God chose me to continue to speak about their matter, because it is something that has what's called the dot connecting to the temple, Jerusalem temple. People who are going to play the highest role there are the people you are trying to toy with. But a time comes, everything will bust out. Whatever is covered will open. Whatever is hidden will be unveiled. A time shall come and the prison cannot contain him anymore. And that is why they took Jesus and they put him in the grave. They killed him and they put him in the grave. They said the end has come, and they covered him, believing that his chapter is closed. But they never know that there's Ancient of Days, there's Lion of the tribe of Judah, there's superpower that governs the universe. He's the one that speaks a word, heaven and earth came into existence. They never knew all of these things, and they took him, crucified him, buried him, and forgot about him, and took soldiers, took army, took all kinds of security that they should make sure it doesn't rise again. But on the third day, the Alpha and Omega, the mighty one, the Holy One, he said, I cannot allow my Holy One to remain in the grave. There was a vibration. There was a vibration, an earthquake. There was an earthquake, a high magnitude of earthquake. The earthquake was so much that people cannot control. Even the security became like dead people. They became like dead people. And the angels came in and rolled the stone away. Yagadabaya. Ragataboya kush. Yeah! Shatakaboya diada baya nikaladaya. Nishaya kaporo braida baya katele baya dabuj. Rete kopra baya daya. Shaki kaka proposi brabahadia nagozoyadia. Rapatana mo shake abaya da. The angels came. Roll the stones away. The stones of your trouble, the stones of your pains, the stones that manipulate the destiny that came to the world to be a blessing to Africa. The stone that said no, the blessing cannot be. Torment and trouble the people, kill the people, chase them away. The angels will come. They are already rolling the stones away. Maka brombo jabra babara da hanush. Ika bambo cobra badia da badiko shitada. The blood was shed, and the blood took over everything. The blood settled the matter. Odigi kepuriguzo, odigi kepuriguzo, odigonye puriguzo, nobara Jesus. The blood was shed, and the blood went into action. The blood took away our sins. The blood paid the price. The blood became everything for us. The blood has redeemed, has set us free. That we will no longer live for ourselves. We live for Him. You that persecute the church, you persecute yourself. You that trouble the church, no man can kick against the brick. Whosoever jammeth the rock shall be broken into pieces. And whosoever the rock shall jam shall be grounded into powder. For the rock is the rock of defense. The rock is the rock of ages. The rock of my salvation. Thank you for watching this very program. The Lord is with you, and the Lord continue to protect you wherever you are. Whoever torment you or trouble your life is troubling Christ and troubling God. God will fight for you and fight for me. In many ways, I've tasted all thy power. Jesus, you are so good. Oh. You are a great God. Oh. In many ways, I've tasted all thy power. Jesus, you are so real. Oh. You are a great God. In many ways, I've tasted all thy power. Jesus, you are so good. Oh. You are a great God. Oh. In many ways, I've tasted all thy power. Jesus, you are so real. You are a great God. I said in many ways, I've tasted all thy power. Jesus, you are so real. You are a great God. I said many ways, I have tasted all thy power. Jesus, you are so good. You are a great God. In many ways, I've tasted all thy power. Jesus, you are so real. You are a great God.
All right, wonderful people, welcome back to this wonderful channel where we bring you back-to-back update and information as City Hot. In case you have not joined our social media handle, what are you waiting for? Kindly go ahead and subscribe, like, comment, share, and also remember to on your notification button so that whenever our news drop, you will be the first. Let's go down to the news proper. As City Hot, you don't share for the Obodo. As the Biafra IPOB, Indigenous People of Biafra, has rejected renaming Biafra Day to Igbo Day, insist on remembering heroes with a seat at home. All right, remember that earlier this month, when the IPOB started talking about the seat at home for the commemoration and remembrance of Biafran foreign heroes during the 1967 to 1970 Nigeria Biafra civil war that took the life of at least 3 million people. A lot died. The story said that there were many that died through kwashiorkor than then that died through the barrel of the gun. And as it is, 30th of May has been set out for some years now. I think that was introduced during when Maz from the emergence of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu around 2015 or thereabout, where people started recognizing the 30th of May as Heroes Day, a day to respect the fallen heroes, those who fell in that 1967 to 1970 Nigeria Biafra Civil War. Gallant men who stood their ground, making sure that the Hausa did not enter Oka, as that statement says. Whenever you hear statements like Hausa but Oka, just know that it's about that Nigeria Biafra Civil War. The ancestors of Ndigbo, they really tried a lot in protecting their people. But as it is, Ohanes and Ndigbo made a suggestion that Biafra Day should be renamed Igbo Day, a remembrance of the day of Ndigbo. And the IPOB has disagreed that they don't agree renaming that day Igbo Day, that day should be known as Biafra Day, and a sit at home for that day is a must. And I don't think that any sensible Igbo child, any sensible Igbo man would disagree with what IPOB is saying. And renaming this thing Igbo Day, if Ohaneze Ndigbo wants to have a day called Igbo Day, I think that's their own issue and that's their own cup of tea, and that's what they can come up with, and people will support them. But this Biafra Day is okay because that was when this thing happened. You know, in I think the government of Ibrahim Babangida removed history and cultural heritage studies from our schools after this. I think around 1980 something, he removed it from the schools and replaced it with social studies. The reason is that they don't want the history to be told, but there is no way you can hide the history from the people. They already know the chaos, the uproar that this history is going to cause. Because when you read this history, when you accept people like Chino Achebe in his novel titled There Was a Country, and Chimamanda Nneadichie in a country titled Half of a Yellow Sun, that's the only way you can have a full detail of the history of the Nigeria Biafra 1967 to 1970 civil war. That they are the two people. Even though Chimamanda Nneadichie's Half of a Yellow Sun was more of fictitious work, but looking at the in-depth of it, you will see a similarity to that of Chino Achebe's work. Chino Achebe's work was more of reality than fiction. It was not a fictive work, but that of Chimamanda Adichie was more of fiction. He used fiction to describe that story, even though he never made a direct statement or to make his story to root direct that he was talking about Biafra. But everybody that knows that history knows that Chimamanda Adichie wrote explicit story, a full compendium of the history of 1967 to 1970 Nigeria Biafra Civil War. Let's go down to that information. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has condemned effort to rename the Biafra Heroes Day as Igbo Day, calling it dishonor to the memories of the millions who died in the Biafra War and blaming political motivated opportunities. The group also announced it will mark Biafra Heroes Day with a traditional sit-at-home on May 30, 2025 across Biafran territories and globally, featuring prayers, lectures, and candle night vigils. In a statement issued on Sunday, IPOB spokesman Emma Powerful emphasized that May 30th is forever known as Biafra Heroes Day, a sacred day of honoring all the life lost in Nigeria's civil war in 1967 to 1970, regardless of ethnic or origin. According to him, Biafra is larger than any single ethnic group. Matthias hailed from Anam, Ibibio, Efik, Oron, Ijo, Igbo, and other nationalists that stood shoulder to shoulder when the world turned its back on us, he said. IPOB condemned the proposed renaming of the renaming to Igbo Day, calling it a historical distortion and an insult to the diverse group who fought and died for Biafra. They described the attempt as lack of historical ignorance, referencing ancient maps and the 1967 Declaration of Biafra. IPOB asserted that the name Biafra is non-negotiable and predates even the colonial creation of Nigeria. It is a sacred trust etched in the blood of over 3 million souls, IPOB said. No arm, chair, mouthpiece hiding behind the tattered cloak of Ohanese faction communiques possesses either the mandate or the moral status to tinker with it. The separatist group described Heroes Day as a solemn covenant of remembrance, likening it to Europe's annual VE Day commemoration. It warned those seeking to politicize or dilute its meaning to restrict themselves to the corridors of Nigerian politics where sycophancy is the currency of transaction. Issuing what it called a final warning, IPOB said it would not engage in further rebuttals with those trying to redefine the memorial. Those who subsist on government stipends would do well to redirect their energies to the praises singing that pays their rent and cease discrediting the blood-soaked legacy of our heroes, the group stated. The statement ended with a pointed declaration in the end: history remembers the steadfast, not the sycophants. All right, that's the statement coming from the Media and Public Secretary of the Indigenous People of Biafra, Mazi Emma Powerful. Nna m ikwutechala ekwute maka na ndị be anyị si na okenye ada nọkwanụ n'ụlọ nya bụ ewu ejele ịmụ nwa mụọ ya n'ọgbụlị ya bụ kwubulu okwu ma bulu inu. There is no need of diluting the value of that particular day, because there were a lot of people who lost their life, and many of them were not of Igbo descent, even though all of them are known as Igbo. But we know the language that is Igbo, like the Efik, the Igala, the Edos, the Deltans, and the rest of them who speak a different language.